Now Karim running at Ryan. Spins it round. Needs a better option though. His teammates standing still. Mallows top of the box. It's a collision between teammates. We're going to put a whistle for it, but that's actually between the teammates. There's complaints from the Sydney FC bench, and whilst they won't be listened to, they think they have some merit to them. Ryan battling with Karim. And now the ball rolls out of play. It'll be a Sydney FC throw in good position. They need to shake off that contact call and get their heads in the game. Josh Ryan doesn't realise it's his ball. O'Brien, catch the ball, nearly piercing through. And now pushing hard to the post. Flick back. And we're going to stop here as there is a foreign object on the ground.
It looks like the triangle piece has popped off from Fletcher.
I have not seen a triangle piece come up before. That is a new one.
He's actually borrowing Ryan's sex at the moment because he forgot one at home. That's why it's a black one and not a yellow one.
That would explain why it's come off as well if it's not for that chair. It's going to be a difficult decision. Only one option on the bench for Sydney FC this morning. It is Chris Suffield. Plenty of experience from him.
The others are there.
Oh, they are there?
Yes, they are there. Just a little bit hard to see from our bench.
Yeah, struck that one up for the P1 player.
Yeah, the P1 army right here.
Yeah, struck that up for the P1s on the microphones. Just on 4 minutes to go in the first half. Scores level at 0. No word yet if we are live or not, but we'll keep running as if we are. We had the usual discussions around the set ball. Please be gentle, don't crash into each other. All the usuals. Looks like we're set to go.
Do not turn either before connecting with the ball.
Yeah, that looks pretty gentle and straight on. Ryan finding O'Brien in space. Karim shutting down brilliantly. And Ryan will flip it out of play. Hills United with a throw in. 3.5 to go. Soddy in traffic. In fact, there's so much traffic here. That's a 2-on-1 if there's no advantage. Karim will get it. Soddy, the referee made a call 2-on-2 in fact. To the sideline again. Soddy. Karim. Soddy doesn't quite get the best of it. Now he does. Karim opens up. Town with the punch. Karim. Soddy. Karim winding up. Punched away by Ryan. Ball gets a piece of Karim. We're playing on.
Great scramble defence there by Sydney, and now they're able to break. Correction.
Karim nearly
goes over the ball.
Yeah, that goes over the ball, and he's had an issue in that play. We're going to play on, however. And the ball now goes out of play. Karim's got his foot back on the drive stick. Bit of a sketchy situation there. Hills United did well to cover. Locking in and marking Josh Ryan, really shutting down the options. Goes to Fletcher ball, shoots at the post, and it will be a corner. 2 minutes 10. O'Brien. Josh Ryan nearly finding the hole. These two players know how to block that ball.
It's unbelievable the amount of saves that they make that look like they're destined for the goal.
It's Josh Ryan trying to find his way through two chairs. That's very rarely a good option. Yeah, he finds a hole that time. Soddy has to hold the post. Clash of metal, I think that's teammate on teammate. Now Ryan looking at the cross, it's too far behind him. Ball has to move. Now Soddy's left the near post open. Josh Ryan goes for it, gets a corner.
Can't be too long left now.
Once again, Hills United tempting fate at the near post. Josh Ryan goes for it and can't execute. Mallows. Karim doesn't get the best of it. Ryan. Ball. Battling with Soddy. Out of play. Sydney FC one last chance before the break.
They're going to have to take it quick, I think.
Cross comes in. And Mallows with the clearance. In on upfield. Battling with Ryan. Gear collision on the side of the chair. Playing on. Shot from Fletcher Ball. It's gone out of play once more.
We really are hitting Fergie time here, I think. This must be the last play of the half.
And Ryan goes for the net. Soddy's there. Ball rolling. Nobody on the end of it. Now it will be with Minham. Battling with Ryan. Still the attack persists. Ryan finding Fletcher Ball. Turns and shoots and misses. Fantastic effort. Just couldn't execute when the time came.
Whistle is in the mouth, so...
Yeah, we might get the ball put in play and then O'Brien, Mallows. That is half time, however. Scores level at the break. Dimitri, any quick comments before we go out to half time?
Really tight half. Sydney were in the ascendancy to begin with, and I think they did have a majority of the play, but they just cannot break down this Hills defence. Hills have been extraordinary this tournament, and I'm sure they're going to only improve more from now on.
Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll catch you on the other side. Hills United 0, Sydney FC 0. Back live at the Camellia Indoor Sports Centre for the second half between Hills United and Sydney FC. Thank you for assisting. We've had some technical issues here this morning. But we're live now, and that's all that's important. As it Sim Soddy to Karim. Soddy off of Ryan. Hills United had to defend the entirety of the first half. They've had 30 seconds of attack, and now Fletcher Ball just barges through Abdullah Karim. Ryan. That ball rolls away. It will be Hills United with it. We'll give a thanks to our sponsor, Access Orthotics. Thank you so much for coming on board to assist us with this tournament. Every sponsorship counts and helps make these tournaments possible. Karim. Ryan, punch and clear. Mallows. And then past O'Brien to Josh Ryan. To the sideline, and Josh Ryan gives Mallows a big shove. They're playing on. And now Josh Ryan wins the throw in. Big chuckle from the Sydney FC's goalkeeper. One dummy, down it goes. It's off the back of Fletcher Ball. It's nearly between the defenders. Karim trying to flip it out off his back wheel. Ball now to the wing, to the byline. Back passing. Ryan. 2-on-1 violation against Hills.
Seems like Hill's doing a swap over in defence when it's a set piece, because Abdullah Karim was in the middle there, taking up the defence, and now that it's a set piece, the same has gone into the box.
It looks like Abs is their central player in the outfield. There's a big chance for ball, and the Sim Soddy plays it away. 2-on-1 now against Sydney FC. Looks like Abs is the central player in the outfield, and the Sim takes a wing position. And when they get the chance, they switch that up and let the Sim take the defensive efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sydney have to maybe try to exploit that and get them on the counter before that they can swap to their preferred defence.
That said, it sounds a bit strange to be saying exploit the formation difference when Abdullah Karim is the exploit. Of course, all that experience is certainly handy at the back. Soddy battling now with Town. Touch at bars once more, playing on. We do also have the sub of Sharma entering the field at half time. Sydney FC with another free kick. It's about a couple of metres outside the box. It's also pretty wide. Only about 7 metres from the net. It's an indirect. Ryan, ball. Daniel O'Brien shooting. Soddy with a great stop. O'Brien goes the second time, and that's wide.
Really, really good ball there by O'Brien. If Fletcher was just a little bit more alert, could have made that front of guard run into the post, and I think it would have gone into the back of the net.
It's always the way. You have to keep it simple front of guard. More often than not, it's the best option. Sometimes we see players trying to get a little bit too fancy and giving away good chances.
No, don't worry, I'm very guilty of that one.
Mallows finding his way through, and Ryan punches it clear. We hear James Mallows yelling out no to tell the Sim Soddy he could not spin. Karim. Now Sharma punching past, push it ball. Karim, Soddy, Josh Ryan puts it out of play.
Beautiful touch there by Karim to take it around ball and get that ball down the wing towards Soddy.
Karim goes across court to Ryan in the middle. Soddy with a flick. Frank Sharma nearly gets a piece of Josh Ryan for his troubles. And Josh Ryan busting through. Can't quite get through Abdullah Karim this time, however. And Ads runs it to the wing. Keeps it in. Just trapping and waiting and using the blind side of Josh Ryan. Caution on the back wheel needs to be applied from Abdullah Karim. A Simpsoni in position for the flip, but Karim gets turned around. Ryan running at the box. There's Mallows, careful not to collide with anyone. Ryan. Eddie Town entering the attack. Oh. There's lots of metal and this might be a penalty.
It's a pen.
That will be a pen.
It's a pen.
It's a Fletcher ball crashing into Abdullah Karim. I think Karim got a bit too much at ball. Three players trying to go for the same ball. Oh, outside the box. It's definitely a line ball decision. And it is so close to the Simpsoni, you might be told you can't stay on the line. He's only allowed to stay there.
Direct is an option here for Josh.
Direct is an option, but how do you do the direct? Josh Ryan finds
like
the
that.
post. Mallows with a bit of luck to keep this score at nil. Mallows just watches it, calls a stay in the box. He had at least one caster in. It is a throw in. Abdullah Karim reminded of the 2-on-1 risk from being at the top of the box here. That ball instead goes backwards and Karim props at the last second. Gets the touch off Town and Hills United with a big chance to go forward. And 13 minutes to go in this game. Karim. Soddy. It's a cross. It's off of Josh Ryan's chair. Karim. Soddy punching. Karim spinning. Not quite the best contact. Now O'Brien. Sharma running back. O'Brien now alone with Mallows. Now battling with Ryan. The two goalkeepers out of their boxes. But finally rolls out of play for Sydney FC. As we mentioned, the temperatures this week. Matthew Mallows confirming this week that he does indeed have knee caps. Most of us have never seen them.
Haven't seen those legs in many a year.
Something else we haven't seen is ears out of the hoodie. As that's very aggressive, but it's all in front of guard, so it's play on. O'Brien in space. Karim punching away. Soddy, big chance to run. Sydney FC formation not in great position. And a 2-on-1 has now been given away to allow for the reset. Sounds like Sydney FC going to the bench after the next. Karim. Sharma, great chance. Soddy, spin him, nearly finding his way through. Now Fletcher ball with it, over the run. Karim holding him at halfway. Fletcher ball flicking away. Soddy. And Bryant just propping enough to win the throw-in. And now we will have the substitution for Sydney FC. No, we're going to get one more play. No, we are doing the sub now. Daniel O'Brien has been called. And it's Chris Suffield to enter.
Bit of veteran leadership out there now with Suffield, I think.
Soddy down the wing. Karim. Sharma trying to punch it back for his team. Soddy now in the middle. Sharma. Soddy. Battling with Josh Ryan. Keeps it in play. Does not. But gets the throw in.
Thought he was going to take a quick one there.
He does like
He thought better of it.
He does like the quick touch, does Josh Ryan. Goes long. Mallows just tapping it out of the box behind Suffield. Craig Sharma now with it. Now the ball rolling towards the sideline. Ryan wants to bend. And that's going to be a dangerous turn. It will go against Craig Sharma. Ryan can't go now. There's a 2-on-1 in the box. Goes up the middle, ball shoots and doesn't get the contact. Keep it simple, people.
Yeah,
Josh
all
Ryan,
their
that
shots.
one's Mallows.
All their shots just haven't been quite coming off, or not the cleanest when it comes to the time that matters.
Sydney FC earn a corner. Who's United with their current formation, leaving the near post open. Will Sydney take the bait? Josh Ryan goes for it and puts it back at the corner flag.
Trying to go for so much power and you just snatch at it and send it off target.
When you go for a spin hit, you either get power or accuracy, not both. Needed the accurate one, not the hard one. Mallows early. Karim back for Mallows, that's a decision. Mallows dragged all the way out of the box now with Suffield. And Suffield trying to flick. If we find a flick, but it doesn't beat Mallows. Now the two goalkeepers right at the commentary position. And it has now left the field of play. Karim wants early ball. Bets it down the line. Sharma kicks it in. Karim bets it piece to Chris Suffield and gets a whistle.
I think he couldn't see Sharma behind him, maybe their contact. It's a bit difficult for us to see.
No, it was Suffield drove into Avs.
Ah, I see.
Sharma. Josh Ryan running it out of the box. Karim just accepting and running. Now these two continue their tussle. Karim finding a way through almost. Lots of rotation. Josh Ryan sees the 2-on-1, gets advantage. Ball still in play. Karim down battling with Ryan. There's been a goal on the other court and a contact call here in this match.
Second Wanderers goal.
Second Wanderers goal, we're being told. And River City, after going almost the distance yesterday, are now deep in the hole against Western Sydney Wanderers, who believe that game. Hopefully live on New South Wales PFA. We know we've had some issues on this court. I don't know if they've extended to the other court as well. Ryan looking for the ball. This time goes simple and Soddy has to make a stop on the line. Ball flicking away. Josh Ryan has to cover. Now, that's a very aggressive on the back wheel. Lucky not to move away the whistle. Mallows smashing the post once more. The two goalkeepers go for it. Ryan swing with a miss. Mallows through the middle. Soddy choosing not to punch, just wants to battle. And we will now have a substitution again from Sydney FC at the next out. Karim battling with Town. Still battling. Town all the way up to the byline. He's been the defensive player for Sydney all throughout the week. Now he's trying to be the setter-upper. Josh Ryan tries to go direct. Now swings and there's just players there. Karim, watch him. Gets the blind side of Ryan, but Ryan does well to shut it down. Running with the box again. No options to the right. Suffield guarded on the left. Ryan nearly finding that hole. Mallows has to hold steady. Ryan doesn't get the cross and he doesn't like what he did. Mallows though, all the patience. Cody Town this time. Ball in the air in this contest. Town just can't get it away from Mallows' back tyre. The two of them now tussle. Town has beaten the goalkeeper. Karim just left. And a 2-on-1 as Mallows re-entered the box. Very clear communication there from James Mallows. That's why you put the ball out of play.
Not too happy with his son there.
No, we're enjoying the communication from James Mallows. It means that we know what's in the team's heads. So now the central defence is going to be tested. Town goes for Suffield. He wasn't ready for it the right way. Town, Gatland with Soddy. So a tactical shift from Sydney FC. We'll see Ryan actually be the goalkeeper. Town. Mallows grabs the post and it will be a goal kick is the call. And we will now have that substitution by Sydney. Fletcher ball has been called off. With George Tiong to come on for the final 4 minutes of this game. Scores level at 0.
George at the moment is the leading goal scorer in our championship division. I think he told me yesterday he has 17 goals in about 8 games.
It's an impressive record. Suffield. Ryan nearly finding his way through. It's Karim and Mallows that end up sandwiching it. No fear from these two colliding with each other. As Mallows nearly lets a piece of Josh Ryan. And Mallows gives him a little bit back. And Hills get the ball. 3 minutes 20 to go. Karim options down the wing, goes for it. Prayak Shah with a super sub. Gets involved. It will be Sydney FC this time. Bit of a discussion between the referees to make sure it is now given to Sydney FC. Players rushing to the other end of the court. Everybody back now for Hills. Ryan goes for Tiong. Mallows with a stop. Ryan trying to lay it off. Can't quite do so. Ryan. Looking wide. Karim shutting down. Town. Tiong spinning, shooting, and Karim with a save. The pressure starts building. 2.5 to go. Sydney FC didn't realise it was their ball. They need to pay attention to the referee. Ryan is on top of Suffield here. Ryan punching near side. There's 2 players there. Doesn't earn the corner yet. Tiong. Great ball for Ryan. Goes through and there's the goal for Sydney FC.
Excellent finish. What a cutback by George. Masterstroke substitution. This kid is one to look out for. He has been playing amazing in our competition and well-deserved minutes here at the National Club Championships.
And that's what Sydney FC needed. They needed to get the ball moving, and they finally did. And they finally found their way through with a simple front of guard shot between the defenders. Sydney FC, now they had the lead, 1-0. And Hills United find something special, locking in and back on the field. And the Sim Soddy just misses that ball, and that's it's not an ideal way to start a comeback.
The clock did just hit 0 as we saw that goal go in, so just under 2 minutes left now.
Ball back in play, Suffield lets it roll. Karim punching. Soddy, Karim looks to go through for Ninham. 2-on-1, here we go. And Matt Mallows is coming forward to take it. Calls have hit it now. The ball, Karim now does go. Tiong shutting down. Karim goes long. Ryan clearing. Karim looking for Soddy. Now for Karim, back to Soddy in space. Crossing. He's Ninham. Karim. Ryan with the clearance. Suffield. Great touch upfield. Karim has to clear on his bike. Stays in play. Beats Suffield. Beats Ryan. Cut back. Doesn't get through him, however. Karim goes behind Suffield. Back Suffield swings. Tiong upfield for Mallows. He's playing super aggressive now. Karim has to shut down Suffield and does. Ryan Tiong. Ryan again. Mallows top of the box. Karim chooses not to pass, chooses to run. Full time on the other court. In fact, no, full time here. And Sydney FC, a late goal to win this match.
What a crazy, crazy game. Hills held out, but unbelievable cutback, like I said earlier, from George Leong. Master stroke substitution. Kept it simple, did it clean. Excellent finish.
Full time on the other court as well. I believe that final score, Wanderers 2, River City 0. Thank you very much for joining us in this game. We'll be back after a very quick break. But until then, farewell.
stay still this
Jackson,
game.
okay. Jackson, you good to go or not?
Yeah. Tom?
Are you good?
Yeah, good now. $1 million, but that's
Yep,
it.
good. Good morning, welcome back to the Cornelia Indoor Sports Centre. Second match of the day of day 3. Auckland FC taking on Melbourne City FC. My name is Tom Byrne. I'm joined in the box by Jackson Taylor. Good morning, Jats.
Hello, Tom. How are you, mate?
Good, good. I probably not as good as you, though. I believe you just came off a 2-0 win.
Yeah, just beat River City in a very good game. We had goals from Jonathan Reyes and American international Riley Johnson to secure that victory. Also, I don't know who needs to hear this, but would there be anyone who can turn up Tom in my ears too?
That might be a bit of a difficulty. We had issues with that earlier too. I'll try and be as loud as possible for you, Jax.
Beautiful, thank you, buddy.
On Giovanni, we had a 2-on-1 violation in back play. This game, Melbourne City pressure off their last minute stunner yesterday against River City. And Auckland, I need to check my notes as to how that 2-1 game went yesterday. I think they got the win. Melbourne City out of corner nonetheless.
What notes do you have up? Sorry, Tom, I didn't get much of that.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Don't worry about it? Okay, can do, boss. Shouts of encouragement from the Auckland bench, waiting for Luke David to take.
Just waiting on the defence to take their position. Right, we're just having some audio changes that might help out our audio.
You're still quite quiet,
Still
Tom.
quite quiet, yeah. Nonetheless, Luke David now with it. Cleared away by Harvey. Luke David has Beck Evans in the corner as options. David. Evans crossing. Mott. Giovanni space to open up. Chooses not to. Now he does. It's off of McCall. Now Mott. Battling Harvey. Giovanni can't keep it in play, and it will be a throw-in for Auckland FC.
Are you able to move that up anymore, Tom, to change
that's
you?
it.
I'm really...
Nah, that's it.
Okay then.
Auckland FC have given the ball back now to Melbourne City. Evans close with Giovanni, can't get there in time.
Good connection there from David and Evans, but just unable to meet Giovanni in the corner there. Really well done from Melbourne in the attack so far, despite not having a goal to their name.
McCall, Shah, Vermeulen. Now David, battling with Vermeulen. To the sideline. Now David looking for the cross. Can't find it yet though. Battling with Vermeulen in the corner. Still battling these two to the box. And now Vermeulen flicks past Evans. And Vermeulen puts it out of play. David on Giovanni, and it's cleared away. David again, ball on Giovanni in the corner, winding up. It's cleared away by the wall. David, crossing and cleared. Mott. Now that ball will roll away. Referring on this side.
Almost thought I was going to get a touch of that up at the commentary box here.
Needs more touches than you had in your match earlier, Jax.
Actually, I think I got one or two off the bench to, keep it from running away. So I think I'd be pretty happy with myself.
Good chance there for Melbourne City. Giovanni couldn't tuck it home. So it will be a throw-in for Auckland FC. 15 minutes left in the first half. Melbourne have had most of the ball. The Auckland defence holding strong so far. Vermeulen just puts it straight out of play, and now Melbourne City have possession. Melbourne City, the only team left to have won all of their matches. David goes through, but McCall with the clearance. Mott battling hard with Harvey. Mott cannot keep that ball in play, and Auckland now have a throw-in. Evans punching through. Bongiovanni touches it on. Will it go out for a corner in the end?
Bongiovanni just not able to connect with it fast enough. I saw that he picked up on it, but his chair just obviously wasn't able to get there within the speed limits of this sport.
This is, of course, a third day of the tournament. Evans shoots. It's wide. Third day of the tournament. It has been very hot so far. It's a little bit cooler today at the moment, but we are still early days. But the added heat does not help these chairs whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. The heat in this venue is something that people like myself and you, Tom, who are known to enjoy the heat, are complaining about. It's definitely gotten quite muggy in here.
Yeah, yesterday was in excess of 35 in the Cornelia Indoor Sports Centre. It's a lovely venue, but it's air conditioning / ventilation pretty much non-existent. There's a 2-on-1 violation against Melbourne City. Will give the ball to Auckland FC. Big thanks to our tournament sponsor, Access Orthotics. Thank you for your assistance, and we hope that our viewers will be able to show them the support that they deserve. As Vermeulen gets a bit of medal for Bongiovanni.
I must say, Tom, we're about 8 minutes in, and Auckland have done quite well with the amount of attacks they've faced from Melbourne so far. I've been pretty happy with their defence. What do you think?
It's been solid, but 8 minutes of defence is different to 40 minutes. As now the ball punches through. Sean Mott has to hang on to it now. And it will be a throw-in for Auckland FC. First attacking chance for them. So we go down the other end. We have a couple of viewing obstructions. As Harvey just could not keep that ball in play. And Melbourne City will get it back. As much as commentating on the pitch is very nice to be able to hear the benches, it's a little bit harder to see as Melbourne City nearly a 2-on-1 violation that they're playing on, but they're not giving away the throw in. Vermeulen. Now Harvey. Can't keep around it. We'll work it out for Melbourne City. Good touch, Jax.
Thank you. I try my hardest, and even in commentary, I'm glad that I can contribute something important to this sport.
Melbourne City will go to the bench. With Santo Bongiovanni coming off, and Sean Miller with his first minutes of the morning. Luke David to take this set piece. Spins, goes long, Millett is not ready for that one, it just rolls away for an Auckland City, or an Auckland FC goal kick. Cole. Thought about going to Harvey and then when he saw Beck Evans move, went central instead. Vermeulen. Batman with David. All the way to the near touchline. David down with it. Harvey. Mott. Ball now does go out of play. Minutes into the first half. Scores level here, Auckland versus Melbourne. David. Miller, lovely ball to Evans, shoots, and there is the first.
What a wonderful goal. Wonderful passing from almost the entire Melbourne team there from that throw in. Go on, Tom.
Yeah, fantastic goal down the wing. Sean Millett opening up, flickering across. Beth Evans, pretty simple finish from her, gets it done.
Just another day in the job for her, isn't it?
And it is. All the experience from the national team on use there. As David now running forward for Millett. David again, going long. And Harvey's tucked it on towards his own net. Evans, can she run this ball in? Auckland scrambling to defend it, the ball's still in play.
Very well done there from the Auckland defence to scramble that one, to keep it out from Beck Evans' dribble as she continues.
In contest here at the top of the box. She's still trying to force it through, calls and roll it from the referee. Evans, the options, there's David. Goes across field, Nicole clearing, Vermeulen upfield, counter attack for Auckland, but Millett shuts it down. And a 2-on-1 violation in the build up. We'll see Auckland FC defend the ball. Calls for Logan Nicole to go up and tape it. The 2-on-1 given away in the attacking half. Auckland FC very aggressive, they're only down by 1. So you can afford to have a crack. Cole, Vermeulen, gets past Millett. Shah can't hang on to it. Now Millett, Gatman with Shah. To the attacking half for Sean Millett. Now Vermeulen with it. Gets the ball out of Luke David.
Does well there. Oh wait, I thought I was the other way, sorry, I couldn't see.
I thought it was the other way, I called it wrong myself.
Yeah, you've got even more of an advantage than I do, Tom. I'm still in my strike force.
Yeah, it was a tough spot for us to see. That ball from Melbourne flicked all the way across the field, and now Auckland has it on the far side. Vermeulen plays for Shah. Millett. Nicole gating out Evans. Evans now taking control of the ball. Back pass. David shooting. It's wide of Nicole and Vermeulen flicks it into Millett to earn the goal kick.
That was like, I'm not sure how much of a intent to force the goal kick that was, but that was very well done regardless from the Auckland defence there, and they'll be very happy with the goal kick.
I think that may have well been a better anywhere but the goal sort of situation as Nicole goes for Vermeulen, plays it through. Mott, trapping and running. For the referee table. And the ball does go out of play, and it will be Auckland with it. Vermeulen, Shah. Vermeulen spinning. Not quite the accuracy. Melbourne City choosing to play on from this point. Auckland have a touch. Evans, Mott, opening up the field. Millett, shooting all the way down the other end. Nicole keeping it alive. Open, play football for both teams. Evans, David, dig behind Millett. Recycling. David, Millett, forward. Nicole, clear him. And again, Nicole. David. Millett. Harvey lost sight of him. The bet's in the way. Millett. Touch of Harvey. Will be a corner.
You can just see as soon as Melbourne City get that power and that accuracy, combine those two and they are very, very threatening with Luke David about to take this corner.
I'd like to see Millett come forward a bit more. That ball too flat and the defence gets to it. Now Harvey. Battling with Mott. All the way forward is the Melbourne City keeper. Two keepers in the box. Flicked away. David. Trap him. No good options. Still no options for Luke David. F. Evans now presents him behind, but the ball rolls away. Bets a corner instead.
Just want to know, actually, they're about to take. I'll go back to that thought later.
As that ball once again coming into the commentary position.
Another touch by Jackson Taylor in the commentary booth. How good. How good.
Auckland, better back going. Evans. With back for Mott. Splits the defence. Millett. Evans shooting. McCall slowing it down. And now that ball goes out of play. You had a question for me, Jax?
Less of a question, more just an observation. How you were talking when Sean Mott was in the box. I just think one of Melbourne's most, their strongest assets is how fluid they are with anyone in any position. Like, it's just fascinating to watch.
I always think that teams that are able to rotate well will play well in Melbourne City. Anyone can play any role as Millett takes his shot and earns the corner. Something that I've seen Sydney FC even doing between Josh Ryan and Cody Town this week is that rotation between them. As David tries to go for Millett once more, and again that ball is too flat. Harvey battles hard with Mott. Mott once again rushing forward. He's got David in support, playing that double pivot. Now they switch over. David taking over. David looking for the wide position. Evans slots in behind. David looking for the box. McCall nearly showing his new post. David earns a throw in. Left in the first half. David back passing for Evans. Finds Harvey in the wall. David goes direct and once again the commentary box just has a magnet today.
They really love me here in the commentary box, don't they, this Melbourne City team? Keep passing it to me.
Maybe a free transfer in the offing next year. Auckland FC with one last chance in the first half. Vermeulen, Shah, Harvey. Evans touching for Mott. Ends up with Millett. Can't quite get past Vermeulen. Vermeulen beats out Millett. Shah has to get out of the way. Now Vermeulen to the byline. Needs options. The ball has somehow rolled through the Melbourne City defence and they just tape it and run with Millett. Options left. Can't quite find them. David. Wide for Millett. Crossing out F. Evans, and that's a fantastic clearance.
Another touch by Jackson Taylor in the commentary box.
Fantastic clearance there by the Auckland defence. A little bit of danger with the spin with F. Evans so close, but judged well. David looking for Millett, touched on, and Vermeulen with a great stop.
What a shot. That was amazing.
Vermeulen continues his run. Down right. Evans. Pierces the defence. Looking for Millett. Vermeulen picks back in time. He's through the workhorse the last couple of minutes. David. Battling with Vermeulen. David flipping. Harvey. Hooping upfield. Not shutting down. That is the end of the first half. Melbourne City just the one goal so far from plenty of chances. Auckland City some strong defence. Jackson, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was a good first half. I think City will be a bit upset that they weren't able to crack the Auckland defence any more than once. But I think, you know, a goal's a goal, and I think that they'll be looking to get a few more on the board in the second half. Auckland did defend very well, and I think they should be proud of that, and hopefully they can give a good effort in the second half themselves.
Well, we hope you join us for that second half. We will take a quick break, however. Back live at the Cornelia Indoor Sports Centre. We've had a couple of audio adjustments, so you may have to adjust your speakers. My name is Tom Byrne. I'm joined in the box still by Jackson Taylor.
Hello again. I can hear you a bit better, Tom, which will make this second half a bit more enjoyable, hopefully for both myself and the viewers at home.
Well, it makes our jobs easier here.
Very much so. I like being able to hear you when I'm in the commentary box.
Melbourne City will go for territory off the kick-off. Doesn't quite execute. Will be a goal kick for Auckland. Auckland down just by 1. Anything can happen in power chair football. As that ball touched on by Vermeulen and out of play.
The people on the camera wouldn't have seen it, but I definitely was scanning back just in case I'd be able to get another touch on that.
Harvey can't quite run onto it, and so Evans will let it roll away, and now Auckland will have possession. Vermeulen off the back of Harvey, and that's a soft turnover, unfortunately. David, options on the other side of the court, and Bon Giovanni, Emmett Shah shutting it down. David plays it in. This time Harvey picking off. Bon Giovanni. David. Bon Giovanni loses traction during the spin. This low grip surface here at Cornelia really wreaking havoc on some of the players.
It's something that a lot of people wouldn't think about would have such an effect, but you know, I've only played, give or take, about an hour of football, you know, this weekend. It's definitely something you notice.
I've had some people, I think Dimitri earlier this week mentioned it might be one of the lowest he's ever played on.
It's certainly
a challenge.
The joys of power chair football, you know, you learn different courts, different,
It's
all of it.
It's a combination of football and motorsport, really. There's a shot taken. What a shot from Santo Bon Giovanni.
I couldn't quite see where Santo was, but when the ball was hit, but I knew the angle was tight, and he made it work. So a very impressive goal from him to make it 2.
That was an absolute stunner. It has been subbed back on. Started this second half, and well, we had a little draft earlier in the week for the Power by Football podcast, and I think Matt Mallows will be happy with his number 1 pick there.
I'm also riding quite high right now with the clean sheet for Melbourne with Luke David in my team. And wait, no, I didn't have Luke. I had him as, never mind.
Yeah,
I had him in goals in my head for my team, but he won't get the clean sheet for the stat because Mott.
No, Sean Wright has been donning the pink jersey from Melbourne City all through the week. Evans
dummy.
nearly finding a way through. David trapping. Going to his right, Bon Giovanni again, can he make it 2? This one goes across the face. Auckland trying to let it out, and now Melbourne City, David just can't keep it in play.
See, I'm feeling quite cool now, Tom. I've just realised I can actually get my arm up on the table that we're having our comms booth on, and it's really cool. I don't know, feels awesome.
Jackson Taylor with the important things in life there, viewers.
Yeah, I'm a small child. Ball rolls through.
Mike hoofing it upfield. On Giovanni running onto it. All the way to the byline. He can't keep it in. It will be an Auckland FC goal kick. McCall has got options to the right, but he's worried about Beck Evans, and instead nobody ends up touching it. That's an unfortunate turnover.
Yeah, I think Harvey just didn't angle his chair quite right there to be able to keep it in play for Auckland with Luke David lining up now.
David on Giovanni, almost splitting the defence. Second effort, this time it goes direct, but it's blocked at the near post. On Giovanni, that's not a great back pass and rolls away.
Another touch by Jackson Taylor in the commentary booth. I think that's what, 4 or 5 now?
5 at least.
It's just my game, isn't it? I'm doing so well.
a concern when you have more touches in the box than you do on the field, Jackson.
Oh, you know, I think the 4 goals yesterday would say otherwise, but I don't know.
Quick shout out to Ed Pete, following on from your 4 goals comment.
Yeah, we made sure he knew about it for the rest of the day. It was I feel a bit bad, but not really. He needs to be scoring more.
You either feel bad or you don't feel bad. You can't have both, Jackson.
Yeah, look, I'm telling myself I should feel bad, so it's a bit of that.
Auckland FC nearly with a great chance.
Another touch by Jackson Taylor in the commentary box. We're at 6 now. This is great.
That's quite possibly the loudest that Jackson Taylor has been in his life.
Oh, this is awesome.
Harvey now with it. And Evans just lets it roll away. It will be a Melbourne City throw-in. Giovanni down the wing wants this ball. I think it might be Beck Evans on the far side. Pivots and changes from David. Giovanni doesn't get the contact. Now trapping, setting up a dead ball. Spins. Harvey just clearing it away from Evans. It's going to roll away and goal kick is the result.
Some really good pressure by Melbourne, even from the miss hit from centre Bongiovanni, but they're unable to get that with Logan McCall set to take this goal kick now.
Auckland FC will have a sub at the next out from Mulan. David, Evans, David, Evans, David. When will the switch happen?
Oh.
Evans can shoot herself, hits the post. And it will be an Auckland FC throw-in, and we should see this sub. Angus Lloyd just being told to wait. And it is Emmett Shah's name being called. A little shake of the head. I think he wanted to keep playing on.
Either that or he's just too happy having a conversation with his teammates. One of the two.
Lloyd now will have about 13 minutes to make an impact. Melbourne up by 2.
Ball goes out there. That's a Auckland ball. Well done there. Can't quite see who that is. It's on the other side of the court. Harvey, thank you very much for that. My
Harvey
vision
managed to dummy past Evans.
Yep. Thank you, Tom. My vision's not as good as yours, my friend.
Your vision's not good. Your legs aren't good. Is there anything that does work on you, Jackson?
Well, I'm like in the top 10 commentators, I think. So like I'm okay at that. I've scored 4 more than Ben, so there's that.
Bongiovanni in space, opening up and finding McCall in the box, but he had so much of an angle. David battling hard with Harvey. Now it rolls out of play. Auckland FC once more. From Millen down the wing. Harvey lets it roll. David, cross field. On Giovanni, prop him, trap him, back pass him. Mott, sideways ball for David. Upfield now, Evans.
Oh, beautiful passing here from Melbourne.
Giovanni opening up and finds the Auckland City defender. That's Defendo, he's going to hit the ball in a good position. Vermeulen with the last touch. In fact, it took a piece of Giovanni on the way through. So Auckland FC with the throw-in. Nobody from Auckland within Cooey. This story might be a bit difficult. Harvey trying to box out Giovanni on the near side.
That sideline is open now.
Giovanni ended up being the man to credit. Evans. Giovanni again. Can he open up? Not quite. Harvey, it's off his rear.
Definitely. Oh, a bit close to Auckland.
Lloyd with a swing and a miss. Evans touches it long. Here we go. An attempted effort, a bit soft. Now David winding up. Looking for Giovanni, who traps it but can't get the shot away. Vermeulen battling hard with Evans. Evans has found the rear of his chair and finds the corner as well. with David setting up to tape. Evans the near post. Bongiovanni the far. McCall behind the line. And Pavilion a little bit deeper as Bongiovanni swims and it just goes straight upwards off his bar and stops dead.
He's had one or two miss hits today now, I think, Bongiovanni. How much of that do you think would be the court, Tom, as we were saying before?
Possibly the court, possibly as well. When you watch his chair, when he accelerates, the front end jumps up a little bit. So there's a possibility that there's a little bit of an alignment issue on that chair that you only find when you're under power. As he earns another corner. But perhaps as he turns, the bar just raises up, changes the angle it hits the ball, and then doesn't quite connect correctly.
And that's why you're the head commentator and I'm the colour commentator, Tom.
Well, it's something that I think a lot of players in Australia need to have a think about is what's the angle that their bar hits the ball at. If your front wheels are in the air when you're spinning, might mean you might top hit it and lose a lot of power. So we have a substitution here from that passage at play. Sean Millett coming back in, Santo Bongiovanni given another rest. David looking for Evans, cross field. It's a bit behind Millett. In fact, Mott's going to be the one on the end of it. Hard shot from him. Evans off of Harvey. David's there. Millett. Give it back to David. He can chase. 2-on-1 violation against Melbourne.
Yeah, the wingers just drifting too close in there, trying to keep the momentum going for their team. And this will be a New Zealand ball, Auckland ball, just at the top of the box.
McCall. Harvey swimming, missing. Lloyd nearly gets on the end of it. Will be a Melbourne City throw-in, however. 8 minutes to go in the second half. Big thanks to Access Orthotics for their support of this tournament as well. David. Harvey swing and a miss. Millett swing and a miss. Millen upfield. Millett guarded by Harvey. Lloyd didn't get out in time. 2-on-1 violation.
I must say, Tom, we've got about 7.5 minutes to go, give or take. And I really am quite impressed with how the Auckland team have defended today. I think after their result, especially... Oh,
there's a curse of the commentator for you.
Yeah, I got to shut up, eh?
Sean Millett exposing the near post, finding his way through and gets Melbourne's third.
Yeah, look, I'll just keep quiet for the rest of the game, Tom. You can carry for the next 7 minutes or so. You'll be right, yeah?
Oh, look, we all had a few of those, but I don't think many have been as egregious as that one.
Yeah, that one's going straight in the playbook of Jackson Taylor moments. But what I was trying to say was, despite conceding another just then, they should be very happy with their defending, especially after conceding a fair few more against teams like the Western Sydney Wanderers yesterday.
And that's something that I've always been impressed with by this Auckland side, is that they are strong defenders. Because they're not able to clear the ball out as effectively, however, they end up betting scorelines just because they have so little possession. Evans, Vermeulen, Harvey outfield. Mott doesn't keep it in play, but earns the throw in nonetheless. But yeah, you think that once teams start being able to dictate possession a bit more, as Millett hits it, and once again, that's a swing that would have worked if the ball had got to Evans on the ground. It came off of Millett's chair and went upwards. Now the ball rolls out of play. It's a throw in for Auckland FC deep in their own territory. Down the line. Over halfway. Mott punching. David. Just running around Harvey. To the byline. Still in play. Harvey beating the back of David, not beating the sideline, however. David's,
5 minutes on the clock.
David's got options front and back, tries to go direct. Has been credited as a goal at the near post.
That was very, very tight. From our viewpoint here in the commentary box, I certainly could not have told you whether that was a goal or not, but referees obviously have a much better view than we do, Tom.
It was certainly tight, and that is unfortunate. Jax, you and I are both goalkeepers as that ball rolls straight at us. You and I are both goalkeepers, and that's the number one thing you never want to do, is letting a ball at the near post, especially on a set piece like that.
I still get flashbacks to mistakes like that, Tom. I don't know about you.
I've had a few this season that have been pretty bad by me. As that ball rolls away, Auckland FC with it. Vermeulen looking down the line, it's going to curl in. And then David touches it out of play, and now a chance for Auckland to get one back possibly.
Vermeulen to take, eyeing up his options, goes back to the goalkeeper.
I like the change up here. Motto punching past McCall. Good to see Auckland trying something different. They'll get another throw in. It's been a good 15-20 minutes camped at their own end. McCall. Auckland trying to play some pull-out football. Evans battling with Vermeulen. She goes to the sideline. To the byline almost. Battling with Vermeulen still. Just one player in the box. McCall leaving his post. He's the keeper. He can stay there. Millett shooting. And that's why McCall left his post to make a save on the far side. There will be a corner, however.
That was some very well handled defence from Auckland there. You were just expecting Melbourne to carve through it, and they managed very well. Luke David to take.
Oh, as the Evans with a shot. David, second chance opportunity. It's going to go through to Miller. It's going to go out of play. Thought there may have been a shout for a 2-on-1, but they're playing on from the goalkeeper from a throw-in. Vermeulen. Harvey shepherding off Millett, but the ball rolls out of play. David. Not being guarded out by Lloyd. Millett though in empty space with can shoot. Second chance effort. Rolling across the box. Evans missing. And she turn and spin. No, she can't. Auckland with another throw in.
The ball just a bit too fast there for Beck Evans. Back into play.
Evans just lets that one go out of play. We are inside the final 2 minutes of this game. Melbourne City will be home comfortably, a 4-0 currently the scoreline. It's been a good performance from them. So I believe mates at 5 on the trot this week. As Millett charging at the goal. Back pass it, David shooting. Great stop by Logan McCall. And it will be a throw-in to Melbourne City.
It was a beautiful shot there from Luke David. A bit unfortunate he wasn't able to sneak it in for him, but some good pressure. Tom, you're on my microphone cord.
Oh, that's a concern. Well, I'll stay still for the moment.
Yep, we are staying still for, or is it me that's on the microphone cord? I'm not sure. Well, regardless, it's a good time to do that. We're at the very end of the game. Luke David to take.
Yeah, there is a corner. Luke David. Evans shooting near post, finding both defenders in the post, but not the net.
It was me. We're untied. We're all good.
It's Evans there, trying to dodge past Logan McCall. He's not going to let that happen there. McCall's a roll with as the goalkeeper leaves the box. Evans looking for the back pass, finding it. Might turning and shooting. It's not the greatest of efforts. And the ball ping-pongs away. It will be a throw-in for Melbourne City once more. Evans now in amongst the heart of the defence, running disruptor. Will Auckland try and call for position? Evans tucks it back out of play, and it's a goal kick. I liked that Melbourne City tried to go fast and cause confusion. Evans, fiddling amongst the defence, caused some problems. Didn't give time for McCall to remember his rights to call position. As Melbourne City touched that ball out of play.
Unfortunately, not another touch for Jackson Taylor in the commentary box.
No, you've had enough today, Jax.
Not allowed to have any more fun, am I, Tom?
Well, no one's allowed to have any more fun in this match because this one has ended. Melbourne City, 4 goals, a great performance by them. They made it better of Auckland FC. And Jackson, any final thoughts from you?
I think that Auckland should be, fairly happy with that defence, especially, after some of the, results that they may not have been too happy with yesterday. I think, Melbourne played quite well with their attacks, but, we've seen them be quite clinical earlier on this week. So, it depends on how they view it, I guess, but a win's a win in their book, and that's 5 from 5 now, isn't it?
I believe it is, and realistically only 3 of the goals can be counted against them. One of them should be counted against you for that horrendous commentator's curse earlier.
Yeah, that one's on me, guys. Really, I'd like to address my formal apology to Auckland City FC. That one's on me. I'm really sorry.
Nonetheless, that is all we have time for in this game. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
give it a thumbs up.
Well, good morning, viewers. It is still morning for about a minute or so here at the Cornelia Indoor Sports Centre. Game 3 of day 3. And we have got Football St George taking on Newcastle Jets. Just put your microwave in with you, Jet. That's better.
Apologies.
All good. Football St George. It's been a long week. Plenty of score lines that have gone big directions. Newcastle Jets playing well. I haven't had the chance to see much of them this week. They've been on the outer court quite a lot. So we do now get to see them on the main court, court 1. Just about to have the coin toss. Referee Dave Weavy in charge for this one. Featuring Olio Davis. And Jake Vidakovic with the armband today. My name is Tom Byrne. I've got Jet Taylor in the box with me.
Very happy to be here, Tom.
Any predictions for this one?
Newcastle, obviously very reputable with their skill, their passing game. I think a very talented side. St George have probably had the tougher week, just with the results and stuff. I think Newcastle will probably be the better side here. But we'll have to wait and see how things pan out.
These two teams, of course, know each other pretty well, both in the New South Wales competition. And we are about to get going. Jordan Crane swims and very light contact gets us underway. Leolio Davis taking his time. Now speeding up out of the box. Vidakovic, wide ball for Crane. McLean on the near side. 3 St George players on top of each other at the moment. Now the ball rolls out of play. Well, St George will get the first throw in of the afternoon.
Good start there from Newcastle. Dimitri Leolio Davis just working it out of his box very well. Very talented player he is.
And McLean just being told to go down the limb. Actually, she tucks it forward. Nearly finding the hole between Amazak and Seth. And Mazak now forcing his way forward, the Newcastle goalkeeper. And now a contact call, attacking the back wheel. I believe it will be in favour of Newcastle.
Yeah, good aggression there. Just a bit too much deemed by the referee. First set piece of the game here for Newcastle. We'll see if they can execute.
Olio Davis, the only meaningful option right now. Seth will go for him. Back for Seth. And he's just straight missed it.
Uncharacteristic there from Ryan Sack.
Very uncharacteristic. Sorry to cut you off there, Jeff.
No, you're fine.
Bit of a cagey start for this one. Olio Davis just lets that ball roll through. Ryan Seth winding up. And McLean punching it back. Newcastle with a throw in deep in their own territory.
Good start here from St George. They're contesting quite well, actually. We'll see if they can keep it up over the course of the game, though. It's very hard. Newcastle, obviously, a very suffocating side.
And it is. Conditions a little bit cooler than it was yesterday here at the Cornelia Indoor Sports Centre. It's still not particularly cool, however, as that ball will roll away for a goal kick. So whilst it may not reach the mid-30s that we had, certainly going to be difficult conditions for the players to play in. And Jet, you'd know, you play a bit of outdoor football, you'd know how hard it is on a very hot sunny day to try and play football.
Oh, it is suffocating, Tom, I tell you. Your thoughts just slow down in time.
Now Newcastle running that ball through to Olio Davis. Pastas shooting against Turnbull, and there's the first for Newcastle.
Wow. Great play there from Newcastle, creating something out of nothing there. Chris Astis at the end of it, calm finish. Very, very well executed there from Newcastle.
Well, once they'd broken the lines, they had the overload, both players forward, just had to convert, and convert they did. Newcastle on the board early against Football St George. Crane looks for Vidakovic. Now ball ends up with Seth. Beating Crane, Olio Davis. Will we see a second? Hastis, it's knocked off of McLean. It goes out for the corner.
Almost replicated what they've just done there a couple seconds later.
Well, if plan A works, you may as well stick to it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's Ryan Seck. who will take this corner. Hastis the near post, Leolio Davis the far side. Big gap between Jordan Crane and Chris Turnbull that Hastis might want to look at. Step goes for Leolio Davis, shooting. Back to Hastis, nearly at the near post. And Jordan Crane now running it out, battling with Sek. Sek gets round the front of him, lays it off for Hastis. Cross him, Turnbull with a slight clearance. Crane trying to beat out Sek. Punching towards the net. And Leolio Davis, open goal, can he find it? Not enough pace on the ball to him, and the Zark first time.
Great passage of play there from Newcastle. Unlucky not to get a goal.
And we're now seeing 4 up from the Jets. This appears to be the way of the future. Newcastle showing it off now. Ryan Sek battling with McLean, touch at bars. Playing on. Now running past is Ryan Sek, options left. Hastis, space, shooting. It's off the front of Crane. And Lazar choosing to slow it down, not the best touch. A little reclaim control, down the wing. Lays it off for Hastis, who just can't keep it in play.
Well done from McLean there to get possession back of the ball there, just knocking it off the front of Hastis' guard.
Crane going early. Sek looking for the 2-on-1, gets the 2-on-1.
Yeah, just a bit of drifting there from Vidakovic.
Yeah,
just coming in from his left wing.
Just trying to stay on his defensive assignment, but just getting all over the top of McLean. Now Ryan Sek, he wants this one. Goes up the middle, looking for the Leolio Davis, trying to earn this 2-on-1 once again. Playing advantage, Hastis spinning. Ryan Sek. Hastis again. Sek opening up, Leolio Davis. Hastis tries to turn and shoot, Turnbull with a stop. Hastis keeps it in play, that pass. Sek. Hastis basically off the course, splits the defense, Leolio Davis scores.
What a pass from Hastis there. May as well give him the credit for that goal. That's just such a well-worked pass to Leolio Davis at the end of it. He's not going to miss those.
That's one of those ones where the assist is more magical than the shot. Still needed finishing. We've seen plenty throughout the day where you get an opportunity like that and you can't convert. Leolio Davis does his job nicely, and there's Newcastle Jets second. They are back running. McLean battling with Sek. And Lazark slowing it down. Got the best touch, and a 2-on-1 will go against Football St George.
Vidakovic just perhaps a bit close there for the referee's liking. He didn't seem too happy with that decision, but play on nonetheless.
It's very rare that you are happy with the referee's decision.
He seemed more confused.
And Lazark looking left. Hastis can't go through Crane. These two still battling. Hastis taking his time. No need to rush too hard when you're up by 2. Probably not the best cross. Sek swims and only gets a slight touch of the ball. Now the ball down the wing, and Ryan Sek just cannot keep it in.
Former teammates there, Jordan Crane, with both of those Newcastle boys just tussling there. Crane getting the better of them for the moment.
Down the line. It's been a theme this week with teams choosing to go down the line from throw-ins. Ryan Sek, Hastis, beaten by Jordan Crane that time. McLean lets it go past her. It rolls away for the throw-in.
Yeah, well in from Crane there to just cut off those passing lanes, I thought. Mature play.
And Lazar goes for Ryan Sek. Now running with Jordan Crane. Ryan Sek out wide. Hastis. Sek. Hastis again. Potential 2-on-1. Playing on. No 2-on-1 seen by referee Dave Weeby. I thought the Newcastle players may have just encroached.
A bit of throw in here deep. About as deep as you can get within the St George half.
Now,
Hastis to take.
Hastis to take the wall. They set up for Football St George. Hastis. Sek. Hastis punching through. Leolio Davis. Cross him. And it went between the two Newcastle Jets players.
tried to make a choice there between Hastis and Sek and almost chose neither of them really.
I think they needed to commit to Ryan just going for it. He splits the defence this time. Elliot Davis, no option given. Flash at bars. Hastis gets the shot from the advantage, and now it's out of play.
Yeah, good from the referee there to play advantage, sensing that something was in the air there.
Newcastle going quick. Sek, Crane rushing out. Sek, open net. And Elliot Davis tucks it home.
Is that on target from Ryan Sek?
It might have been very close. Nonetheless, Elliot Davis made sure it was his second and the third for Newcastle.
Yeah, good to get on the end of it regardless. Wouldn't take any chances.
I think if I was Ryan in that situation, I'd prefer to see Dimitri take the goal than see it go wide. Crane, McLean. Elliot Davis looking for Ryan Sek. Crane doing a lot of rushing. He's had a workhorse this week for this Football St George team. As he gives Ryan Sek a lot on the back wheel. We're not getting a whistle for that though. Sounds like we might have a substitution in the offing for Football St George. There is a player being summoned. It'll be Mitch Albert to come on, and we will now see him enter the field. It'll be Ruby McLean to come off. It's been a good 10-minute spell from her.
Yeah, did what she could there. I thought she had some good contributions down the right-hand side.
And Lazar. Ryan Sek plays it long. Elliot Davis. Sek. And this time Newcastle get pinned for the 2-on-1.
Just a bit close there between the two of them. Weren't able to get enough momentum with them on the ball to space efficiently.
Newcastle, they've been executing a lot down the left-hand side. This time they thought they'd try the right. Turnbull plays it out for Crane. Albert will get his first touch and a couple more. And we had a quick check from Ryan Sek to make sure we're all good. We are playing on. Crane punching 2-on-1 as Albert did not get out of the way. In fact, we might get advantage for it. They're playing on. And Lazar forcing his way through. Referee nearly taken out by two different Football St George players in a row. Elliot Davis, and Crane just knocks it away.
Crane doing a lot of the work here in the middle. He's cutting off every passing lane he possibly can. Newcastle's still efficient though.
Elliot Davis, Sek, all the way through for Hastis. Elliot Davis in space. Lays it back to Sek. Elliot Davis this time crossing, and that's gone away, and that'll be in the commentary box. In fact, not quite, just to the Football St George bench, who will have a throw-in. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Score 3-0 for Newcastle. Albert. Trying to get past Ryan Sek, can't do so. Down towards the Elliot Davis. Sek. And Lazar forward now for Newcastle. Elliot Davis puts it towards the goal. About a half a metre wide, and Turnbull's over to watch it roll away.
Yeah, not an ideal end to that nice passage of play there from Newcastle. St George will get the reset and sort of try and work their way out of their own half here. Get a bit of field position back.
Turnbull goes for Albert. Sek with the pick-off. Hastis. Elliot Davis. Hastis can shoot, and does, and Jordan Crane with a great stop.
Commentator's curse is a real thing there.
Oh, you didn't hear the one that Jackson did earlier.
What was it?
He started complimenting the Auckland defence. He didn't even get through the sentence.
Oh. Sek now.
Goes long for Elliot Davis. Hastis shooting. Elliot Davis trying to punch it through. He can just charge if he wants. Can't quite do that, and the ball gets locked down. Viewers who saw the game earlier, there's a touch at bars, and that's a penalty given.
Penalty here for Newcastle to make it 4 within the first half.
Now the question is, who's going to step up? It looks like Shannon and Lazar might be the man asked to take this penalty from 3.5 metres. Of course, for those who haven't seen Powerchair football penalty before, Chris Turnbull, the goalkeeper, the only man allowed within the box who must stay behind the line until the ball is in play. In fact, he must not move until the ball is in play. If he doesn't, and Lazark will get a second attempt. And Lazark doesn't need it though, he's thought at home immediately.
Very, very tough for the goalkeeper there. If you can't move until the ball's in play, players can almost just pick a corner and stick with it. It's very well taken from Anlazak nonetheless.
It's been something that whenever a penalty happens and I'm in the commentary box, that the topic always comes up. It's not a very popular rule, at least amongst the goalkeepers in the sport.
The new penalty rule?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Strikers love it because it's a almost certain goal. Albert battling with Ryan Seck. Wants the ball to go left. Does so now with Hastis. All the way to the byline, he will go. He can flip it away from Crane. Crane does well to shut him down. Seck now, dummies once. Gets the throw in instead.
Yeah, mature there from Seck. Saying nothing was really happening and just earning the throw in for his team. Hastis in the corner here, probably looking to be the receiver of this one.
Seck, very steadily for Hastis. Back to Seck, spins and wins it again off Mitch Albert.
Great chair control there from Ryan Seck, I must say.
I was mentioning before in the last match that sometimes some of these chairs, when they have a lot of power, they adjust where the bar hits the ball. And we saw it there, Ryan Seck, when he hit it, the ball just went upwards a little bit. And some of the mishits that we've seen this week might be related to that. So Admazak now, charging at Crane, a little bit of contact that we're playing on. These two still tussle. Hastis trying to clear space, doesn't want to clear the 2-on-1 away. Now for Hastis. And Lazark. Opening up, goes direct. Ryan Seck. Olio Davis, they're opening up here, Newcastle. Hastis finishes.
Great placement there from Hastis, just sends the keeper the wrong way. Completely deceives Turnbull there, very well done. Testament to their talent here. 5-0 inside the first half.
Newcastle, only the one blemish on their record this week, that being the draw against the Western Sydney Wanderers to open the tournament. But they continue their march as they now have 5 in the first half alone. Vidakovic, battling with Seck. You can choose to go to the Olio Davis, doesn't want to, just lets Hastis beat it instead. Get passing it around. Crane. So that's a little bit of a ball moving around there. It goes out of play.
Tail end of this first half here, Newcastle not taking the brakes, not putting the brakes on here.
The Olio Davis, what a ball. It will now roll out of play. Not quite actually, Albert beats it in. And Lazark paddling with Albert. Ryan Seck moving forward. And the ball rolls out of play. Football St George will get it just on 2 minutes to go in the first half. And in the last 90 seconds or so, the temperature in this building has skyrocketed. Crane, the Olio Davis punching long, Hastis. And Turnbull cannot get that ball out of play. Hastis, Seck, goes direct and Turnbull puts that one to the sky. Playing on, and Lazar. Battles with Albert, very aggressive on the back half of the chair. Now the ball goes out of play.
Thought Shannon Anlazak did really well to cover his base there, especially with Newcastle playing this almost 4-up system. Doing very well to get behind the ball there, relieve his team of a bit of pressure.
Crane now with it. And he's puts it straight into touch.
Unlucky there from Crane, not what he would have wanted at all. Giving Newcastle the ball back immediately.
And Lazart choosing to take this throw in. Ryan Sek in line with him in the middle of the pitch. Sek. Pastis. Sek. Calls for the back pass. Goes for it. And Lazart will be the last touch, and that will be out of play.
Yeah, maybe a lack of communication there at the back for Newcastle. Zanlazak forced to just hit it out.
Jordan Crane now with it. Got the ball rolling away. Sek now with it once more. Lays it off for the Olio Davis. Sek again. The Olio Davis opening up. Jordan Crane picking off. We are very close to half time now. Crane still dribbling it. It's on the back of Ryan Sek's chair, and Crane gives him a little bit of a nudge. And another nudge. Now it rolls away. Vidakovic. Trying to go through Ryan Sek, who can't do it this time. Touch of metal, play on. Both players aggressive on the back wheel. Dave Levy happy to let it go, because that is half time. And Newcastle Jets, they've been clinical so far. They've put 5 on Football St George. Jet, any final comments from you?
Just an absolute statement there from Newcastle, putting 5 on St George in the first half. I think both wingers, Leolio Davis and Hastis, just very capable and threading the needle there. The final ball, it's very, very clinical from all players on the field there for Newcastle.
Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll catch you on the other side. back live at the Familiar Indoor Sports Centre. Second half action in this match between the Newcastle Jets and Football St George. Newcastle Jets, it's been one-way traffic for them so far in this one. They lead by 5-0. Jet Taylor, if you're at the Football St George camp, how do you not drop your head at this point?
It's very, very hard not to. But I think it is a case of knowing that this is probably the best team in the comp, probably one of the favourites to win it at the moment. And there have been worse scorelines put on others by Newcastle in this tournament, I would believe, yeah.
You know, you mentioned the favourites for this tournament. It's shaping up that it could be anyone's game. There are 4 teams in contention at the moment, and it really feels like it's going to be all coming down to who can turn up on Saturday the best. Newcastle with the first possession, but they do put it out of play. Football St George now with it. Albert gives to Olio Davis a little touch. Ryan Seck can't take it first time to avoid the 2. Now the Olio Davis in space. Seck opening up from 3/4. He may as well go down to the ball as an attempted shot. It didn't miss by much.
Very powerful hit there from Ryan Seck. Haster's just not at the end of it, unluckily. Maybe a bit too far ahead of him there. St George get possession back now.
Of course, this is one of the difficulties of this tournament, is that you do want to sometimes rotate your bench. Newcastle only have 1. I heard that earlier in the week, Olio Davis had a little stomach issue, so James Cribb had to play a full 40 minutes. I believe they still got the job done in that game. Ryan Seck now battling with Mitch Albert. And Mazak coming forward. Has to swing and a miss, and then the second time puts it out of play.
Slightly missed time there from Hastis. Not very often you get that from him, but he would be allowed it, considering they are up 5-0 at the moment.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if Newcastle take the foot off the gas a little bit, just try and maintain possession as that ball will go away for a goal kick.
Yeah, they're more than happy to slow the game down here. They've really got nowhere to be.
No, and they need to maintain their chairs. I believe this is their first match of the day. So I believe they will have another match this afternoon. Today is anything like the last 2 days. It's only a little bit hotter. Seck. Albert cannot keep that ball out of play. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsor, Access Orthotics. Thank you very much for being part of this tournament. And we hope to see future involvement on that front as Ryan Seck looks to his right for Amazar. Goes forward. Albert punching, sending Newcastle back.
Yeah, well read there from Albert. Just a good game sense there from him, I think. To cut out that very powerful ball there from Al-Lazar. Newcastle get the ball back nonetheless.
Seck court 2 action about to get underway. If it hasn't already, River City taking on Hills United. That match should be able to be watched on the New South Wales Power Chair Football YouTube page. Of course, sure. you are with us on the APFA page. Ryan Seck plays it forward. Olio Davis gets it past the rear of Turnbull, but not past Crane. Now, Football St George trying to pass it round. O'Donovan subbed on at half time. Hastis. Olio Davis. Seck. Olio Davis opening up, shooting, and Crane puts it out for the corner.
Yeah, Seck just a bit cross with himself, I noticed. A few times he's mishit the ball and not made contact where he wants, but still putting Olio Davis through there just shows the class of him as a player.
So we have a little bit of a vision impaired at the moment as one of the Football St George coaches just having a quick chat with the referees table. Ryan Seck now with it. Setting up a dead ball. Olio Davis turning and spinning. Doesn't quite connect. Now that ball goes out of play. Newcastle with it once more.
Could have gone either way, that. Newcastle with the decision there.
Seck. Olio Davis. And the ball for Amazar. Olio Davis again, back for Ryan Seck. Ollie Davis and Turnbull makes a stop. Ryan Seck. Crossfield and Lazark. O'Donovan with a stop. Ryan Seck can't advance any further. The Ollie Davis trapped in the corner. O'Donovan clearing and Lazark has to clip back. Great stop by him, and now we continue. Hastis, Ryan Seck, Newcastle straight back to their passing rhythm. O'Donovan almost intercepting. Now for the Ollie Davis. Seck, turning, Hastis shooting off the post, still bouncing around. Turnbull can't keep it in, and there's Newcastle's sixth.
Yeah, just a bit of calamity in the box there. Turnbull unable to keep it out of his own net. It's the pressure of Newcastle, consistent.
That it has been credited as an own goal, I believe.
Own goal was that, sorry, Tom?
I believe that's what I heard from referee Dave Levy.
Yeah, it's gone down as an own goal.
Crane, Albert. Crane again, touching it on. Ryan Seck though will gather. This little tussle, very steady from both players. Ryan Seck just driving it past the back of Jordan Crane. He winds up. Elliot Davis, and it has gone in, and now that's 7.
7-0 here from Newcastle.
A
Wow.
A dominant performance by all means.
It's a score here being put on by the Newcastle Jets. It's very cohesive from all of them. Finish there from Dimitri as well.
And that ball immediately out of play for Football St George.
Forcing some intervention from the commentary box there as well.
Oh, we had about 7 or so in the last one with Jacks. I think he was more interested in getting the ball out of the commentary box than he was actually commentating. He was pretty happy about it. Jordan Crane will take this throw in. Now Hastis with it. Hastis, Gatland Crane, taking his time. No rush now. Just had 13 minutes to wind off. Seck, Hastis, Newcastle opening up now, and Lazark. Can't get the ball away, Hastis recycles. Seck, and goes out of play finally for Football St George.
Unable to open up the play there from Newcastle. Hastis forcing the ball back out once more.
Seck now upfield. Crane looking for O'Donovan. Can't get to him, however, and it will be Newcastle ball.
Yeah, Seck not ready to engage in that. No real reason need to. Sorry. And let's like to take this throw in now.
Goes upfield. Hastis. Elliot Davis. Seck. A little bit too narrow for Hastis to reach, and Crane able to put it away. Newcastle throw.
Sub now for Football St George, as well as Newcastle Jets. And a technical issue there for Jordan Crane.
Yeah, there's a technical issue. It will be him coming off as Ibi Khan is donning the goalkeeper jersey. Unless there's going to be a big further substitution. It looks like Turnbull. We will see Newcastle go to the bench first. Him coming on. And I didn't quite see who the Newcastle player was that came off.
It was Dimitri Lilo-Davis.
It was Dimitri, and now Chris Turnbull makes way for Ibi Khan. The goalkeeper change with 11 to go. Hopefully Ibi can keep the line a little bit better than Turnbull's been able to in this opening half an hour. Hastis goes first time, and Jordan Crane clips up a corner.
Yeah, doing very well to force the corner there. See if he can get on the end of it now with the near post.
And Lazak, the goalkeeper, take him. Hastis has missed it. Jordan Crane upfield. Now Ryan Seth recovering. Ryan wide for Hastis. Seth. Crane beating in the lane. Ryan Seth feeds out Crane. Ibi Khan, top of the box. Change of tactics for St George as well. Seth trying to force it through, and Ibi Khan hits it out. Goal kick.
Yeah, good intervention there from Khan. The St George coaching area, very happy with that.
And of course, hope that you'll stick with us after this one. Next match on this court is the Sydney Derby. Wanderers versus FC. And with Captain America Riley Johnson, that is a tantalising affair.
Talk of the tournament so far, I'd say.
Well, the Wanderers, they had a rough day on day one, but day two went all their way. They had a win against River City this morning. They've got their tournament back on track, but our focus returns as we have a throw-in for Football St George. Crane. Albert touches it past Dan Lazarco. Donovan Petty opened up. Plays off the rear of his chair. Ryan Seth gets to it. Crane. And Seth touches it away. Football St George with an attacking throw-in. And the message being given is we are right in front of the technical zone for Football St George. Down the wing. Albert. And Lazarco flicking it away. Hastis. Shoot him. If you can't, taking a risk for toe off Crane and straight into the net. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Not great positioning there from St George. Lack of communication as well.
That's the risk you run when you try and clear it out of the defence and you've got teammates rushing back to try and help defend. If you can't, just turns it straight at Jordan Crane and out of play it goes. O'Donovan will be subbed off at this point. Jeff Vidakovic to re-enter. But Newcastle now 8-0 with 8 minutes to go. And Lazar goes for Ryan Seth. He's going to take the pace right off. Beats Albert. Down for Vidakovic. Taking it wide. Now Kim. Seth. James Kim again. Seth. Thinks about winding up. Choosing the trap instead. Guarded by Jordan Crane. Last touch off Crane, but he will keep it in. Seth passing for Amazak now. Off of Crane, touch at bars, we're playing on. Amazak up the middle, finds Albert only. Keeping it alive. Kim. Amazak guarded by Crane. Crane has lost sight of it. Amazak touches it away. No options now for the Newcastle keeper. James Kim flirting with the byline. Trying to avoid the 2-on-1, but he doesn't get it. But St George will get the ball.
Yeah, there's a bit of lack of communication there. Kim not sure whether to get out of the area or not. Not sure if that was his ball to take.
We're having a little chat between referee Dave Weavy and Jordan Crane. Not 100% sure what that one's about. Our scoreboard in the venue says 7. We know the score is 8. Crane. Albert winding up. That goes off the back of Andersaka. Now Hastis could run onto it. Crane. And Hastis too aggressive on the back wheel, and that'll be a foul.
Hastis doesn't think that should have been given. But nonetheless, the referee deems it too hard there from Hastis.
It's very uncommon for a player to go, yeah, actually that was my fault.
You do see it.
Crane. Albert. And the 2-on-1 violation. Will be Football St George the ball once more.
Sack just a bit close there.
Yeah, I think the communication has slowed down. The scoreboard now updated to read 8-0 here in the venue. Crane, Vidakovic, and Mazak nearly swimming on Mitch Albert. And Mazak using every part of his chair to try and go forward. And James Kim trapped on the byline. Sek, Khan, flicking past Ryan Sek. Now with Albert. And Mazak. Kim. And Mazak opening up. Sees Jordan Crane approaching and stops the swim. Inside the final 5 minutes of this game. Crane. Kim. Oh, Sek, sorry, outright. Sek, no options. Has to lay it off for Hastas, but Crane gets involved. Ryan Sek. James Kidd now moving. Very close to emptying the field of play there. Was Kim. Does put it out of play and Football St George hit the throw.
Nice extended passage of play there. Kim unlucky to end it.
Sek. Can't quite get it past Vidakovic. Would have been a great pass to Football St George if there was a winger out there, but Vidakovic had drifted in from the wing to be the central player at that point.
Yeah, just drifting here from St George. Very unclear as to their intentions.
And Mazak looking for Sek. Rolls it through and Kim. Vidakovic, the pace of this game has dropped right off. Down to just these grueling battles. Vidakovic attempts the back pass, doesn't get enough of the ball and has to run it. And Mazak now. Does well to get the ball with some motion without hitting Vidakovic. And now Shannon Amazak, the only player on this Newcastle team not to have an international cap. I feel like within a few more years he'll have plenty to his name. Sek, laying it off to Hastas. Sek's not out of play, in fact.
It's a great point there, Tom, with the international caps. Sorry, I cut myself off there.
Vidakovic going forward. Hastas. Sek. Albert. Crane now. Sek just slowing it down, winding up. Hastas. Crossfield ball and Vidakovic gets there first. Calls for 2-on-1 from St George, not heated. Sek. Two central for Hastas. Crane swing of the miss. Goal kick.
Yeah, good passage of play there.
Just to finish off the point, I do think Shannon Amazar, one of the players for the future, possibly a player for the now even, super talented.
Hastas getting his first cap at the APFA Cup. Would I be correct in saying that, Tom?
Yeah, that was his debut tournament. That one, he worked a very long career for Chris Hastas and finally gets the rewards for such good play from him over the years. But yes, Shannon Amazar, I think, is a fantastic player. Doesn't get very unsung hero of this team. I think his international debut won't be too far away.
Yeah, very, very solid player. As we see him here against Crane.
Very patient stuff from the youngster now. We are inside the final 2 minutes. Potential dreams of double digits might not happen now as Amazar wins the ball off of Crane. It will be a throw in. Of course, stiff with us after this game, the Sydney Derby, as Vidakovic swings and gets a massive piece of James Pym. This will be direct. I will say though, Football St George, apart from the miss hit from Ibn Khan, they've defended well since the substitution. We'll now see. And Lazar looking for Hastas, shoots, and Ibn Khan with a great stop.
Yeah, nice dummy run there from James Kim as well to note. Just opened that space up. The back post for Hastas. Good stop from Khan as well.
And Lazar goes for Hastas. Crossing. Nobody in the middle. Kim plays for Lazar, but it's 2-on-1. Khan will step forward to take it for Football St George. Kim. Hastas. That'll be all we have time for in this game. Newcastle Jets putting on a real show of goal scoring. They win this game 8-0. Jet Taylor, any final comments on this one?
Look, I think St George tried to contest where they could, and in points they were successful. But I feel as if they were futile attempts to just the prowess of Newcastle, the talent of each player on that field. Just immense. Ryan Seck, Leolio Davis, Shannon Andler, Hastas, James Kim, all of them. Just immensely talented players. Tough to find a way around, and St George weren't able to.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. We'll catch you after this quick break for the Sydney Derby.